Welcome to the Torqueconomics weekly automotive updates leading up to the 13th of July 2025. Let's dive right into our releases and discontinuations monitor. The Goodwood Festival of Speed is being held in West Sussex this week, and a few cars made their debut at the event. The LFR, better known as the successor to the LFA, was making its first official outing. It was followed by the Toyota GT racing concept at the event. Although both were driven at slow speeds, the roaring V8 came as music to my ears. This also marks the first occasion where the interior to the new car was spotted. Despite the blurriness of the photo, we can see the red interior is adorned with physical buttons underneath a moderately sized touchscreen. Another car that has drawn some attention was Jaguar's Type 00 concept. It was noticeably sitting idle in a showroom rather than participating in the hill climb, which should tell you a lot you need to know about Jaguar's Rebrand. The minimalist interior was at the center of the attention. The seats look quite uncomfortable, and there are still no words on the production model. Jaguar is really not bothering to pander towards its traditional fanbase. A bit more exciting for the common folk from the festival was the Ioniq 6N from Hyundai. Fitted with the same fake gear shifts and engine noise as the Ioniq 5, the car at least presents itself as an interesting proposition to drive. The interior shows physical buttons for climate control, as well as a variety of customization options, all the way from power to drift optimizer. In fact, Hyundai even showed off a black Ioniq 6, which it called a drift spec. Moving on, Aston Martin released an even more powerful version of the Vantage, called the VantageS. This entry-level Aston Martin is powered by an AMG 4-litre V8 and produces 671 horses. This model will demand a premium over the $200,000 price tag of the regular Vantage. 21-inch alloys are combined with red accents to ensure everyone is aware that this is the S variant. Another new special edition Pagani Huayra was announced this week. It is an open-top speedster called the Codalunga. 10 will be made, and price is estimated to be above 7 million euros per vehicle. Manual, V12, and 825 horsepower. Definitely one for the few wealthy collections. Allegedly, only 97 Maserati MC20s were sold in Europe in the year of 2024. Perhaps this is why Maserati was prompted to deliver a new vehicle. However, it has done what Ferrari did with the Rover, and basically renamed the car despite it only being a refresh. Introducing the MCPura, it still uses the same V6 twin-turbo engine and without any hybrid assistance. The new car retains the scissor doors and Alcantara interior. The car made its debut at the Goodwood Festival of Speed as well. The Lanzante 9559 has officially been unveiled at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. We've covered the car before on this channel. Now the bespoke 3-seater modelled after the McLaren F1 had its price tag set at £1.2 million. Also a 3-seater is a concept car released by Bentley this week called the EXP15. The powertrain is to be EV only. It is said to take inspiration from the 1930 3-seater Bentley Speed 6. Bentley calls the car an elevated sedan, although it is basically an SUV. I must admit, the interior looks quite nice. Legroom is definitely not a problem for the two rear passengers. Additionally, there are also ample luggage space and 2 tailgate seats for the avid event viewer. Moving into the more affordable family cars, the 2026 Subaru Uncharted is named the same as the video game. A teaser this week shows the car similar to CHR Plus released recently by Toyota just weeks prior. In fact, it is likely to be another tie-in with Toyota, similar to the BZ4X and Solterra, as well as the 86 and BRZ. The CHR Plus is an EV SUV that presents itself as an evolution of the small SUV that is both sporty and practical. It is available in dual motor configuration only, and prices start in the range of $30,000. Next is the facelift of the CX-5. Mazda haven't revealed much detail on the new car yet, although confirmation of a hybrid powertrain will serve the new emission regulations. Mazda calls their new car their future direction in terms of design language, which is a love or hate type of ordeal. The Mazda logo has been replaced with text in both the rear and on the steering wheel. Speaking of which, the interior adopts climate control as part of the touchscreen, which is sure to annoy many but does save cost in production. Lastly for the week, The Chinese brand Chery is making its way to the UK with its Tiggo 8 Super Hybrid. Whilst a boring car with a measly 204 horsepower, the car does impress in one category, and that is range. The plug-in hybrid can drive 745 miles or 1,120 kilometers without a refuel, with pure battery range coming in at 56 miles or 90 kilometers. Pricing is unknown at this time, but I'd expect it to undercut Korean rivals. Into the headlines of the week. Range Rover announced a rebrand this week with a new logo that is sure to draw controversy. The new logo has been unveiled alongside with a new monogram that tries to mimic designer brands such as Givenchy or even Fendi. The Range Rover monogram will be used in design elements of grills and interior parts in the future. Note that the redesign is only limited to Range Rover but not Land Rover. Both the Defender and Discovery are not affected. Under the Jaguar Land Rover structure, this only represents models including the Velar, Evoque, Sport, Vogue, and Autobiography. Moving on, in unfortunate news this week, a GR Corolla owner experienced an event whereby the car was close to rollover, but managed to remain upright. The airbag went off in preemptive reaction. He was denied warranty. The owner posted his frustrations on Reddit. Pictured on screen shows the car with minimal exterior damage. The lengthy and now deleted post ended with him contacting lawyers and mentioning a potential recall that may be the cause for the issue. This is a developing story. Now looking at financial news, the Amazon-backed truck company Slate, known for its customizable trucks, is about to raise prices by a significant margin from the original $20,000 price tag. This is because the low price tag was originally subsidized by the Clean Vehicle Credit of $7,500, which will be removed by September. Nissan is in negotiations with Honda to manufacture for them in the US, in order to utilize excess factory capacity. Initial talks are for a truck similar to the Nissan Frontier, with Honda to supply the design. However, this is quite confusing, as Honda does already offer the Ridgeline. Reuters states that it is still early stages at the moment in terms of negotiation. Ford has announced a scheme for voluntary redundancies in its Cologne plant located in Germany. Ford's Cologne plant is dedicated to EVs, and EV sales have been poor, so it is an unfortunate but logical step for Ford to take. Ford broke an awkward record this year for the greatest number of recalls in any given year for a brand, and it has only been 6 months into 2025. 88 recalls, totaling multiple millions of vehicles have been recalled this year so far, ranging from trucks to the Mustang. Lastly for the week in motorsports, Christian Horner, team principal and CEO of Red Bull in Formula 1, was sacked this week. Alan Perman, racing director of Racing Bulls, replaced Horner in team principal duties, whilst Lauren Mekies, team principal of Racing Bulls, replaced Horner in CEO duties. Horner was an incredible team principal, overseeing 6 constructor titles and 14 different drivers throughout his 20-year tenure. His sacking came as a surprise. It reveals the long-term power struggles of the shareholders behind Red Bull, as well as supposedly Verstappen's view of Horner. Jos Verstappen, whom is the father of Max, has always been a long-term critic of Horner, even going as far as saying Red Bull will be torn apart if Horner stayed in charge in the first race of the season. That was all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and please look forward to weekly videos on an ongoing basis. On that bombshell, goodbye.